So, as we were discussing before, there's a situation where you have lots of blessings, you have everything going for you, but you have everyone around you. You feel alone. You have a lot to give, but you feel you don't have anything to give, and you're not able to love or feel loved because you just look at yourself as inferior. And so today I want to address this phenomena and to find a solution for it from the prism of this week's Torah portion, because it's a really big problem. And it's so sad. It's like, imagine, this happened to me more than once, more times than I want to admit. I'm looking for my glasses. I'm wearing my glasses. I'm wearing my glasses. It happened more than once, more than twice, but it happens. Some souls happen more often. I'm one of them. The same is also, you find people there, they're waiting for something they need to happen in order for it, but they already have it. But they don't know. So the question isn't if you have what it takes. The question is if you know you have what it takes. It's for sure that you have what it takes, but that's not so important as much as it's important to know that you have what it takes. They say, Oi Lami, woe is to the one who doesn't know their faults, because if you don't know your faults, you don't know your challenges, you won't work on your challenges. But Oi va'avoy, but it's much worse if you don't know your blessings, if you don't know your virtues. If you don't know your virtues, you have no tools. If you discovered a challenge, what would you use? You don't have the hammer, you don't have any tools. In order to be able to deal with any kind of challenge, you have to first acknowledge the virtues that you have, otherwise you can't do anything. So I want to talk about this, but in a very deep way. Instead of just using like platitudes, so yeah, you do, everyone's good. I want to go from a much deeper perspective. From coming to the Torah portion, and the perspective is that Hashem puts everyone in a situation, and if you believe in Hashem, and you believe that Hashem put you in a situation with sufficient strength and energy and resources to accomplish your mission where you are. In other words, the believing in yourself is connected to believing in Hashem. It's connected. So we see this in this week's Torah portion. This week we read about Noach. Noach, the Torah says, he built this boat for 120 years, and he entered the boat. The Torah says, why did he enter the boat? Because of the water of the flood. What does it mean, because of the water of the flood? What does the Torah mean? Because of the water he entered the boat. Talmud says he didn't really want to go in the boat. In fact, he didn't think it was a good idea. He's working on the boat for 120 years, but he says, I'm not really sure it's going to rain. And then it starts to rain, I don't know. And he had no choice, he entered the boat. So the Talmud says, Rashi says, Ma'amin ve'ena ma'amin. He believed and he didn't believe. The question is, which one is? Did he believe, didn't believe? What does that mean, believe and not believe? You can't be both. What do you believe and not believe? How can it be both? And the answer is that he believed in Hashem, but he didn't believe in himself. It says in Sidkas HaTzadik, the Sefer of the Chosm Lublin, he says a very powerful line. He says, just like a person needs to believe in Hashem, so too they need to believe in themselves. He puts it together in the same sentence, seemingly to equate them both. They're both the same importance. If you don't believe that you have you have what it takes, then you're really repressing all of your energy and resources. When you believe in what you have, you reveal it. You cause it to be manifest in yourself. So the issue that Noah had didn't just affect himself; it affected everyone in his generation. Everyone in his generation suffered because he didn't believe in himself. And when you don't believe in yourself, it affects others. It affects yourself first of all. There's a guy's true story. This guy was driving a truck, and he thought he knew how tall his truck was. He knew his truck was high, and he goes under an underpass, and he didn't really know how he got stuck. He couldn't go forward, he couldn't go backward. He didn't know how big he was. If you don't know how big you are, you get stuck. If you know how big you are, if you know what you have, you don't get stuck. This is the issue of Noach. And this is something that Noach, in his generation, he didn't complete his mission to a certain extent. Although Nachmanides writes that Noach was perfectly righteous, and getting to the end, Noach was prophetic according to Nachmanides. He could speak to Hashem, as we see the Torah says that God speaking to him. He was a prophet. Despite him being prophetic, and despite him being so good, yet he didn't fulfill his mission completely, and that's why it says in Yeshaya, it says in Isaiah, the waters of the flood are called the waters of Noach. Why are they called the waters of Noach? If anything, they should be the opposite of Noach. The reason they're called the waters of Noach, says the Zohar, because Noach caused the flood to a certain extent. How did he cause the flood? He didn't believe that his prayers could do anything about the flood. He didn't believe that he has a say about the flood. He thought that the flood is going to happen whether he says yes, whether he says no. He can't stop it, he can't fix it, he can't help it. Everyone in his generation is wicked, he can't do anything about it. That's why it says the reason why it took him so long to build the boat was in order to inspire the people of his generation. Hashem wanted the people of his generation should ask, why are you building the boat? And he should tell them, I'm building the boat because Hashem is going to bring a flood. How many returnees, how many people did he inspire to return to Hashem after a 120-year campaign? After 120 years of inspiration, he had how many people? 0. Why 0? Because he wasn't really sure himself in the first place. He didn't have the faith himself in the first place. So therefore, he had to come into reincarnation. He had to be reincarnated because when you don't finish your mission in one lifetime, so then the Torah says you have to go to have another lifetime to finish off what was missed in the first lifetime. So who was Noach reincarnated as? Anybody know? You know. He is reincarnated as Baruch. You can guess. You're a soul guy. You're a Kohen.
I have no idea.
Just guess. Come on. Who is Noach reincarnated as? I'll give you a hint. He was saved by a boat. He also had something to do with 120 years. Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu lived for 120 years. As Noach, Moshe Rabbeinu lived for 120 years. Just like it took Noach 120 years to build a boat, Moshe Rabbeinu was 120 year mission. Just like Noach was saved with a boat, Moshe was saved with that little basket. The Torah describes the basket as a boat, as a teva. And just like Noach was saved from the water, Moshe was saved from the water. There's also a line in the Torah where we see how Moshe Rabbeinu rectified the issue that Noach had. The Torah says that Moshe Rabbeinu had a similar circumstance to Noach. What was the similar circumstance that he had to Noach? Just like Hashem told Noach he's going to destroy the world, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu he's going to destroy the Jewish people after the sin of the golden calf. What's the word the Torah uses? It's really, when you think about the story, it really it fills you with a. It's a very, very tumultuous thought. Thinking about Noach, when Moshe Rabbeinu said to Hashem, Hashem told Moshe, "I'll destroy the Jewish people, and I'll make a new nation just from you." What's Moshe say to Hashem?
Take me out of your book.
Take me out of your book. Like he's talking to Hashem as if he's in charge, as if he has to say, what are you doing, Hashem? How dare you? You want to talk to me? As if he has a choice. So the Megala Mukais, he writes that the words Mechenino, which means please erase me from your book, are the same letters as the words Mei Noach, the waters of Noach. Mechenino is Mei Noach. Also, Mechenino says the taste of Shalom means Ani mi Noach. I come from Noach. The reason why I am taking responsibility in such a way right now, Hashem, is because I come from Noach. I come from the one whose mission didn't work, because he didn't feel responsibility, because he didn't believe in himself, and I'm Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm the answer to this. So, yeah.
Was he aware of that?
Was Moshe aware of this?
It sounded like he was aware of it.
Okay, that's a good question. It's a deeper question that I can address tonight, but let me say this. Your question is, when the Arizal and Chassidus talks about different layers of a conversation, is a character in the conversation aware of all the layers?
Yes.
So I think that there are 4 levels of Torah interpretation, and the 4 levels correspond to the 4 worlds. So I think that just like there's Moshe Rabbeinu in this world, there's Moshe Rabbeinu in higher worlds. So the Moshe Rabbeinu in this world is talking in the Pshat level. Then there's also the Moshe Rabbeinu in the Remez world, in a higher world, talking in the Remez world. So I don't know exactly how it works, but I think that opens our ears to the conversation that it's not so simple. The question isn't as simple as it sounds. There's different layers there's different worlds that the Torah corresponds to. But be as it may, there's another interesting hint to Moshe Rabbeinu. It says the word zeh. This is the boat of Noach. The word zeh is the American equivalent to 17. Why 17? Because Moshe Rabbeinu was the 17th generation from Noach. Vizeh is 7. No, not Vizeh. Which word is it? Not Zeh. Oh man, am I mixing it up? There's a word that means 17. What word means 17? Because there's 10 generations from Noach till Avram, and there's 7 generations from Avram till Moshe Rabbeinu. So Noach is reincarnated in Moshe Rabbeinu. When he's reincarnated, Moshe Rabbeinu does the exact opposite of Noach. But let's put ourselves in Noach's shoes for a second, okay? Noach doesn't stand up to his mission, and what happens? The world is destroyed. In a similar way, in our personal way, our world can be destroyed without our emunah, without our faith in Hashem. Let's talk about depression for a second. Where does depression come from? What is depression? What is the meaning of depression? Depression means you don't believe your life has value. A big source for depression is a lack of faith. If I believe in Hashem, really, I truly believe in Hashem, then I believe that where I am is destined by Hashem for a certain purpose. Moshe Rabbeinu, he comes to Hashem and at first doesn't want to do his mission. He doesn't want to do his mission at first. He says, I can't do the mission. Why can't I do the mission? I have a lisp, I have a speech impediment. What does Hashem say to Moshe Rabbeinu? I will be with you. Anochi eyim picha. I will be with your mouth. I'm with you. Think about that moment, Moshe Rabbeinu's reaction to that. Think about that. That's a powerful thing. First he thinks, I can't do it. And he hears from God saying to him, I am with you. In a similar way in ourselves, there is a moment before we think about that, before we bring faith into the conversation. Everyone has days. Today was one of my days. I had a hard day today. I had a confusing day. And then I was thinking about what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And I was thinking I should take it to heart. Yeah, and I said, Hashem is with me. And Baruch Hashem, things really worked out. Things worked out. So anyways, the point is, when we believe in Hashem, we also believe that Hashem is with us. In other words, believing in Hashem means believing in divine providence. Believing that you have what it takes. It means not forgetting that your glasses are on your face. It means that believing that that Hashem gave you the tools to deal with the situation you're in exactly the way you are, in the circumstances that you are in. No matter how hard it seems, you are exactly where you're meant to be. So this is why Moshe Rabbeinu rectified the mistake of Noach. And that's why, another fascinating thing between Noach and Moshe Rabbeinu. After the flood, what does the Torah say? Vayachal Noach isha adam itakarim. Noach began to plant a vineyard. And the Torah says the word Vayachal means he was mundane, he acted in a low way. Because he didn't save his generation, that's why he himself descended spiritually. What is it? Where do we find those same words, Vayachal, in the Torah? The same letters, Vayav, Vav, Yud, Ches, Lamed. We find those same words, and we read it every fast day. Vayachal Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu supplicated Hashem after the sin of the golden calf. Vayachal Moshe. So Moshe Rabbeinu is the answer. The Moshe Rabbeinu, let's say it this way. Our lives are like a home which is on 2 pillars. The 2 pillars are believing in Hashem and believing in ourselves. And these 2 pillars have a symbiotic relationship between each other. The more you believe in Hashem, the more you believe that Hashem is present in your life, and therefore you have what it takes. The less, if you believe only in Hashem without believing in yourself, then your house is lopsided. If you believe only in yourself, your house is lopsided. True belief in Hashem is believing in Hashem is with you. I'll tell you one story, let you guys go. One story, let you go to Baruch. Stories like this. There was a tzaddik named Rabbi Shlomo Halberstam. He was a Baba Rebbe in the time of World War II. He lost all of his wife and most of his children in the Holocaust. He only had one son, Rabbi Naftali, who survived and was his successor. So Baba Rebbe, he had learned that there was a congressman, a Jewish congressman, who was really standing in the way of many Jews trying to immigrate to America. There was a big discussion in America about allowing these survivors of the Holocaust to come to America, and there was this one senator, one congressman, I'll say his name and you'll correct me, Saul Bloom, who really was one of those people like go by the book kind of people, like everything has to be fit according to the rules. And I'll never forget when I used to visit Jews in jail. There was an Imam Abdul. Imam Abdul was always letting us do stuff. We want to bring in Hamatashin. It wasn't on the list of things we could bring into prison. No problem, Hamatashin. Want to bring in Latkis? Bring in Latkis. Want to bring in Challah? Bring in Challah. He always broke the rule. He said, Imam, I didn't say Imam. I said, Abdul, how do you let us do it? How do you break all the rules all the time? He says, he's from the Bronx. You gotta understand the rules. I understand the rules. Okay. So, anyways, Saul Bloom did not understand the rules. The rules are the rules. So this Rabbi Halberstam wrote a letter to Saul Bloom asking to speak to him because his adversary in Congress was the opposite. Another I forgot with the name of his adversary, but he was like very pro. This is a special time. People are dying. We need to open the doors. Anyways, Rabbi got permission for a short meeting with Saul Bloom. He comes to Washington. He sleeps in the shul. He gets very early to the office, and he's waiting for a few hours to speak to Saul Bloom. He comes finally to Saul Bloom's office. Saul Bloom is reading some papers on his desk. Doesn't even look up. And remember, this guy is Mr. Legalese guy. So Saul Bloom, not even looking up, he says, "So who are you?" What's he going to say? "I'm the Baba Rebbe." You know who I was in Baba? In Baba, I had 1,000 Chassidim coming to me. What's he going to say to Saul Bloom? He's looking down. He says, "I am someone who always breaks the law." Oh. He got his attention. What do you mean? He says the law was in Germany that Jews have to be killed. The law was in Germany that if a Jew is not allowed to hide. The law was in Germany that you weren't allowed to hide and you had to come forward and say who you were. The law was in Germany that you weren't allowed to hide a Jew. The law was you're not allowed to assist people who hid. And I want to tell you that I broke all of these laws and I fought against these laws. And the reason I fought against these laws is because these laws are cruel. And he's pouring his heart out, and he starts to cry, and I want to know if you, Mr. Bloom, if you will help our brothers and sisters and join me and also break the law. And Mr. Bloom, he started to cry as well. He took his hand and said, "I'm with you," and he became a very flagrant law breaker, and he helped many people come to America with visas, whatever they needed to get into America. So bottom line is, we have to stop. When we get into a moment, especially get into a moment, when you get into a moment where you feel like there's a flood going on, right? There's a flood in your world. You have to realize that there's something you could do. Hashem didn't put you in a situation because He wants to drown you. Hashem put you in a situation because He believes in you that you could jump higher. Not just He believes in you, but He empowered you exactly where you are to do exactly what you're meant to do and to rise to the occasion. There's no such thing as being in a situation that wasn't planned by Hashem. And if Hashem planned it, that means that He empowered you. It is an expression in Israel. You don't send a small soldier to a big war. If you're encountering a big war, that means that there's something in you that can handle it. And that's what I wanted to share. Any questions, comments, criticism, tomatoes, cucumbers? We could build our world and the world around us with believing in ourselves. We can bring in our strength, our talents, our love, our gifts by believing in ourselves. We could destroy our world, by the opposite. So we have to build ourselves, build those around us by believing in people around us, believing in ourselves. L'chaim, l'chaim. Say l'chaim to our birthday boy, who Baruch Hashem has a lot of gifts that he's unaware of. You know, again, it's not important to know that you that it's not important that you have the gifts. It's more to know that it's not important to be able to actually identify them. Something you can identify themselves. You need a friend of yours to identify them because everyone's like, nah, not me, babe. It's the Jewish thing. Eli l'chaim, l'chaim, chaim v'rocha, shnas hatzlacha begashus uruchnius. Hashem should fill all your heart's desires for good. And we should see already good news this year, and next year your birthday should be a whole different madrega. L'chaim, l'chaim v'rocha.